What if the financial networks that process trillions of dollars every year suddenly became a strategic vulnerability instead of a competitive advantage? That question is no longer hypothetical. Governments across Europe and Canada are quietly investing billions to reduce their dependence on American-controlled payment systems, digital infrastructure, and critical technologies. And the ripple effects could eventually reach everything from global trade to the automotive industry. Welcome back to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. Today, we're counting down 6 major developments that reveal why this transformation is accelerating faster than many people realize, and why the biggest changes may still be ahead. Number 6. The financial wake-up call that redefined strategic security. The concept of a financial kill switch emerged from real-world events that exposed how dependent many countries had become on global payment networks. Visa and Mastercard still process trillions of dollars annually and remain deeply integrated into Europe's and Canada's financial systems. After both companies suspended operations in Russia in 2022 following international sanctions, governments recognized how geopolitical events could quickly affect access to critical payment infrastructure. The concern isn't that allies expect similar restrictions, but that relying heavily on a single system creates strategic vulnerabilities. Similar to how automakers diversify suppliers for engines, semiconductors, and batteries to improve resilience, governments are now building greater redundancy into their financial networks. By June 2026, strengthening domestic backup capabilities had become a key long-term priority, but identifying the vulnerability was only the beginning. Europe is already building one of the biggest alternatives yet. Number 5. Europe's Wero strategy reshapes the payments landscape. Europe's response is Wero, a key initiative under the European Payments Initiative that complements rather than replaces Visa and Mastercard. The platform connects national payment systems such as Spain's Bizum, Italy's Bancomat, and Portugal's MBWay through a unified European network, improving cross-border payments while strengthening domestic oversight. As of late June 2026, Wero remains in its rollout phase, with gradual expansion focused on long-term stability rather than rapid growth. Lower transaction costs are also part of its long-term vision. Meanwhile, development of the proposed digital euro continues, with the European Central Bank prioritizing security, privacy, and stability. Europe isn't abandoning global payment networks. It's creating additional options to strengthen resilience and strategic flexibility. But payments are only one piece of a much larger transformation. The next shift extends across virtually the entire digital economy. Number 4. Digital sovereignty becomes the next strategic frontier. What began as a push to strengthen payment systems has expanded into a broader drive for digital sovereignty. Across Europe and Canada, governments are investing in sovereign cloud infrastructure, open-source software, localized data storage, and domestic technology capabilities to reduce reliance on foreign-controlled systems in areas tied to national security. Regulators are also increasing oversight of major technology and payment platforms, with greater emphasis on data residency, legal jurisdiction, and long-term control over critical digital infrastructure. Canada is expanding investments in cloud computing and artificial intelligence while facing many of the same challenges as Europe. Rather than isolating themselves, these countries are building trusted international partnerships that allow them to co-develop advanced technologies while maintaining greater strategic independence and long-term resilience. And those strategies are no longer confined to government roadmaps. They're beginning to appear in real-world systems. Number 3. From policy to practice, the technology independence push accelerates. Digital sovereignty is moving from policy into real-world implementation across Europe and Canada. Governments are reducing dependence on foreign-controlled technology by expanding open-source software, investing in domestically managed cloud infrastructure, and developing regional digital ecosystems under local legal frameworks. Much like automakers diversify suppliers for engines, semiconductors, and battery packs to improve resilience, governments are applying the same strategy to critical digital infrastructure. Across Europe, sovereign cloud and localized data initiatives are advancing beyond pilot programs, while Canada continues strengthening its domestic technology capabilities alongside trusted international partnerships. The goal isn't technological isolation, but a balanced approach that combines global innovation with greater domestic control, turning long-term policy into operational systems that support governments, businesses, and citizens every day. But before we get to the two developments that could have the biggest long-term impact, take a second to hit like and subscribe to Piston Pundit. It helps us keep bringing you in-depth analysis of the automotive industry, technology, and the geopolitical forces shaping the future of mobility. And one of the clearest examples of that transformation is already taking shape in Canada, and it could redefine how payments move across the country. Number 2. Canada's real-time rail brings the next generation of payments closer. Canada's real-time rail, RTR, is one of the country's most significant financial infrastructure projects, designed to enable secure 24/7 account-to-account payments with near-instant settlement. Unlike traditional card transactions, RTR supports direct bank-to-bank transfers, creating a faster and more efficient payment system. As of June 2026, the nationwide rollout remains in progress, with a phased launch expected as financial institutions complete integration. Security, fraud prevention, and system resilience remain central priorities. RTR is also expected to complement Canada's evolving open banking framework, giving consumers greater flexibility while maintaining control of their financial data. Like Brazil's Pix, RTR could transform digital payments, but Canada is prioritizing stability through a measured rollout. But perhaps the biggest takeaway isn't any single payment system. It's the broader strategy driving governments around the world. Number 1. Why diversification has become a global priority. While Europe and Canada expand independent capabilities, the United States remains a global leader in technology, finance, and defense. At the same time, policymakers and businesses are navigating evolving trade policies, legal challenges, supply chain constraints, and shifting geopolitical priorities. Defense manufacturing remains a major focus, with NATO members evaluating production capacity, supply chain resilience, and long-term readiness to meet growing demand. Because U.S. companies continue supplying critical technologies, software, financial services, and defense equipment worldwide, developments within the American industrial base have global implications. For many governments, the lesson is clear. Like automakers diversifying suppliers for greater reliability, long-term economic resilience depends on reducing reliance on any single provider. And when you connect all of these developments together, a much bigger picture begins to emerge. Final verdict: a new era of strategic resilience. Rather than signaling the collapse of the global system, these developments reflect its evolution. Europe, Canada, and other nations are strengthening long-standing partnerships while investing in alternative financial, digital, and technological capabilities to reduce single points of failure. Initiatives like Europe's Wero, Canada's real-time rail, and the broader push for digital sovereignty highlight a growing focus on resilience, flexibility, and strategic independence. These trends could also reshape the automotive industry as software, semiconductors, artificial intelligence, digital payments, and advanced manufacturing become increasingly important to vehicle development and global supply chains. Now we'd like to hear from you. Do you think Europe and Canada are making the right move by investing in greater financial and digital independence? Could these changes eventually reshape the automotive industry and the vehicles we drive? And which development discussed today do you believe will have the biggest long-term impact on the global economy? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We always enjoy hearing your perspective. If you enjoy breaking down the biggest stories shaping the future of vehicles, technology, and global industry, make sure you're subscribed to Piston Pundit. We've got plenty more coming. Thanks for watching and see you next time. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's plenty more to explore.